Alright guys, it's time to do another game preview here, and this time it's between the Habs and the Oilers. This is the last 2-game series of the season for the Habs, and it's against the Oilers again, who they have matched up against pretty decently throughout the year. So, if you're new here, grab yourselves a beer and park that ass on a chair, as we're about to take a look at the last time these two teams met, the current standings, the projected lineups for tonight's game, and of course, we'll take a look at the player statistics of both teams to see which players are most likely to kick some ass up in here. But first, if you guys are a fan of the Habs or just hockey in general, please consider subscribing to my channel as I upload hockey content daily and would really enjoy if you guys decided to tag along for the ride. And if you want to get in on some of the action down there in the old comment section, take a stab at trying to predict the score for tonight's game, and if you get it right, I will pin your comment to the top and give you guys a shout out in the game review for this one tomorrow. And hey, maybe I'll even call you a name or two. Yeah, some of the old smack talk. Now, the last time these two teams met was on April 21st when the Habs won by a score of 4-3. Here is a quick look at, who opened up a can of whoop ass during this game. But one thing you gotta admit, the Habs and Oilers games throughout this season were pretty even and has been quite entertaining. In fact, these last couple of games had a real playoff atmosphere to them, as both teams, were trying to kill each other out there. There was a lot of hits happening. I mean, we saw Jujhar Khaira leave the game with a concussion, so let's see if some of that spills over in tonight's matchup. Now, as you can see from the standings, the Habs have been backing themselves into a playoff position while playing rather poorly of late. But hey, somehow they're in there, as the Flames, they've been sucking pretty bad too. The Oilers, on the other hand, they are sitting pretty comfortable up there in second place in the Northern Division, and Connor McDavid has been on an absolute rampage throughout the season. I still can't believe the guy has 100 points, but hey, we'll get into that a little later. Now it's time to take a look at the projected lines for tonight's game, and we'll start things off by taking a look at the Habs' current blended lines that we know of. So, the lines we saw against the Leafs on Saturday night were as follows. The first line consisted of Nick Suzuki centering Tyler Toffoli and Yoel Armia, and these guys have been pretty consistent now for quite some time. I highly doubt that this line changes, but hey, it is Dominique Ducharme, and the guy gets the old blender going quite often. The second line consisted of Jesperi Kotkaniemi at center between Josh Anderson and Thomas Tatar. I thought the line had a pretty decent game, but they did not cash in on any of their chances. Moving on to the third line, we've got Eric Staal centering Corey Perry and Cole Caulfield, and the fourth line is Jake Evans between Artturi Lehkonen and Alex Belzile. Now let's take a look at the defense pairings. We've got Joel Edmondson and Jeff Petrie as the first unit. The second unit is Brett Kulak and Ben Sherratt, and the third is Alexander Romanov, whatever the hell he wants to be called, and John the Bomb Mural. Moving on over to the Edmonton Oilers projected lineups for tonight's game, and we've got Connor McDavid, the animal himself, between Dominique Cahoon and Jesse Puljujarvi, or Puljujarvi, or Puljujarvi, I don't know. But hey, Puljujarvi, he's been playing pretty good this season, so back off. The second line consists of Leon Draisaitl centering Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Kyler Yamamoto. The third line, we've got Ryan McLeod between Tyler Ennis and Alex Chiasson. And the fourth line, we've got Jujhar Khaira, who's back in action, between Devon Shore and Josh Archibald. Yeah, the old spark plug. Taking a look at their defense pairings, we've still got the dynamite first pairing of Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie. The second line, we've got William Legason and Adam Larson, and the third unit consists of Caleb Jones and Ethan Bear, who is not a bear, might I add. Now let's take a look at the updated statistics moving into tonight's game for both teams, and we'll start things off with the Habs. Yeah, the Habs. At the top of the list, in first place on the team in points, we've got Tyler Toffoli. He's got 44 points now in 51 games. Yeah, pretty respectable, eh? Well, wait till we move on over to the Oilers top dog. Anyway, second place, we've got Jeff Petrie, who's got 42 points in 54 games. In third place, we've got Nick Suzuki with 39 points in 54 games. And in fourth is Thomas Tatar, who's got 30 points in 48 games. Now, are you ready? Are you ready to take a look at the Oilers player statistics? Look at that! Connor McDavid has 100 points in 53 games. And it really makes me wonder, if I could potentially score 20 goals playing on this guy's line, they wouldn't even have to pay me much. I'd pay for my own ticket to Edmonton right now, and they can pay me barrels of KFC chicken, for God's sake. Second on the team in points, we've got Leon Draisaitl, who's got 79 points in 53 games, followed by Tyson Barrie. Look at this. Woohoo! 46 points in 53 games for Barrie, and Darnell Nurse too, man. He's got 36 points in 53 games. So that does it for this game preview. Don't forget to predict a score on the way out of here. Hit that like button, and I'll see you next time.